Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Whiskey Babble. We're doing another doubleheader tonight, which I'm pretty sure is going to be our new MO from now on. We're going to try to get 2 episodes recorded and then release 2 episodes weekly, and then bi-weekly record another 2 episodes and get it going. Anyways, tonight we are brought to you by Audible.com. Now, Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook of your choice and a free 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/whiskeybabble and choose from over 180,000. Matt, what was that number?
180,000.
180,000 audio programs. Audio programs? Shouldn't say audio books.
Audiobooks and spoken word products, I think, is the.
What the hell's a spoken word product?
I don't know. like they sponsor us, and I haven't actually used it yet.
I've never even heard that before. I have an Audible for school books.
It probably just covers the gambit of whatever else is on there.
Whatever. Download a title for free and start listening. You guys, it's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/whiskeybabble. Yeah, okay. If anybody's listened to this podcast from last week, because it's spelt out for me. So it's trial, DOTCOM/SLASH Whiskey Babble. So that's audibletrial.com/whiskeybabble and get started today. We're also brought to you by Mamute Jiu Jitsu. Now, there's an issue with me saying Mamute, but I figured for you guys out there that was an easier way. Fuck me for trying to help. But it's I know it's Mamute Jiu Jitsu, okay, but it's spelled MAMUTE BJJ.com. Great jiu-jitsu academy, family oriented. I train there. Everybody I train with are my brothers. Tonight's guest is actually our head instructor, Bruno, one of his students, and it's a really great environment. So if you come in and you check it out and you mention Whiskey Babble, you guys will get a week for free to try it out. And it's going to be a great experience. Also, check out the merchandise on the website, whiskeybabble.com. We have great merchandise. Matt, how great is our merchandise?
Oh, it's real good.
It's great. We got sweatshirts. We have shirts. We have flasks. We have shot glasses. We have, beer mugs?
We got beer glasses now. We got cocktail shakers.
Cocktail shakers.
Yeah, buddy.
Make many a drink.
It looks kind of cool, too. It's like a stainless steel cocktail shaker with our logo on it. It's
what? The wife likes sour Midoris.
Midori sours?
Midori, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know. I had to Google how to make the drink for her because, but yeah.
You find out you don't have 48 of the things that go into
the
drink.
I'm like, oh, shit, man.
Let's see, I have whiskey and...
I had to buy sugar. I was like, what is this? I don't know. We don't live in the day and the age where you can go ask your neighbor for sugar. You know?
Right?
Like, what do you need it for? I'm making booze. So Mamute, spelt Mamute Jiu Jitsu. Check it out, guys. And Whiskey Babble.
Medically
You are now tuned to Whiskey Babble.
All right. Hey, Bruno, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Jake?
I'm doing great. So Bruno is my my instructor. I've been with him for I'm 27 now. I started when I was like 19, 8 years, and then I had to take a few years off for school and stuff. But so it's been quite a few years. We stayed in touch though when I was.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been.
You train, you stop, and then train again, stop.
But I've been consistent for the last year.
Pretty good, yeah.
Say it like that, man. Jeez.
Yes.
But,
Once a month. I'm joking, just.
Whoa.
Twice a month.
Whoa.
Throwing you under the bus.
Once is a joke, but 2 is good. So a little background to Bruno, guys. 2009, he came in second in the worlds for no-gi. Was that against Barnett or Monson?
Yes, Barnett. Monson, I won in 2007.
2007.
Yes.
I got that written down here too. So for anybody, Josh Barnett's a monster, and Bruno came in second to him. It was a great match. Watching it, if you guys can Google it, Bruno Paulista versus Josh Barnett. It's a great match. In 2008, he came in first in the Pan Ams for no-gi, third in the Worlds for no-gi, second in the Pan Ams for gi, and then in 2007, first in the Worlds for no-gi, first in the American Nationals, third in the Open, second in the Pan Ams, and 3rd in the Pan Ams for no gi. So that's
Yeah.
quite a resume, guys. For anybody out there that knows anything about jiu-jitsu,
It's like a couple pages full of.
yeah, it's some great accolades. He's good. I mean, and there's really no way to say it. And I read this thing today, and it was funny. And it said, white belts, you get caught with stupid shit. It said, blue belts, you see the stupid shit coming, but you still might get caught. Purple belts, capitalize on the stupid shit. It said, brown belts, put you in the stupid shit. And then black belts, just do whatever they want. It was kind of like a breakdown of what the
like
belts
that.
are, how the belts work out, you know. Sorry for the foul language.
Okay, I have a belt question because
Yes.
I know basically
Zero.
nothing.
Okay.
So I see up on your wall here you have yourself, a couple other guys. So I thought black belt is the highest. What's the guy with the red belt?
Yeah, like you get a black belt. Okay, like your professor give you is for adults is white, blue, purple, brown, and black. But then after you start getting promoted degrees by the confederation. So then when you get your 7th degree, you become like a black and red belt.
Okay.
When you get your 8th degree, you become like a red and white belt. And then when you get your 9th degree, you become a red belt.
Okay.
You know, and this is like it's by time. Like the 1st degree is just after 3 years, you'll be black belt. Then 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And then it's 5 years between the 4th and 5th.
Okay.
And then 7 years, then 10 years, all that. And the confederation that give you like that.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu is one of the most. It takes the most amount of time to get black belt.
Right.
Any type of belt, really. It's a very invested sport. You have to do years, and I think it's like don't they say even if you train every day and you win worlds every year, it still takes 6 or 7 years to get a black belt.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it's
like what is for him. Like when I go promote someone, I have many reasons for me like to promote someone. It's not just the person be really good in jiu-jitsu.
this is one of my questions.
You know,
Actually,
oh, yeah?
so. But yeah, it's
The
like-
interviewee
Don't you
is
wait?
interviewing
no,
himself.
tell a story.
No, some people, they are like, already some people have to, you teach once, they learn. Some people have to teach twice. Some people, they teach them 10 times, they barely learn. But the person that you taught like 10 times, they are trying. They come 2 times a week, 3 times a week. They're doing the best, and they cannot, they work and they have a family. They're trying the best. I'm not going to promote them. I'm going to promote them because they really try. The same time, for the one time I had one guy, he was a white belt, 17 years old. He was really good at jiu-jitsu, but was always getting late, was not behaving himself on the mat. He, techno-wise, he was ready to get his belt, his blue belt, but did not give to him. You know, so that's the thing.
Well, didn't somebody offer you one time to
Yes.
pay you for a belt?
Yeah.
Which is like,
That's a huge
Yeah,
no-no.
these
You don't
days
do
was,
that.
yeah.
No,
that was-
you don't do that.
Even an outsider like me knows that would be something.
yeah, you
that's,
just
Yeah.
don't offer to pay for a belt.
Yeah.
And then you also get the issue of people, like if I wanted to leave this academy, I'm a 4-stripe blue belt.
Okay.
So in my progression, next should be purple, and then you go brown and black. So there'll be guys that are pretty close to on the edge, and surprise, surprise, they'll leave academy and they'll show up at another academy and have the next belt.
Yeah, no.
That it's
Ah.
kind of it's a personal thing. Jiu-jitsu to me personally, and I'm sure Bruno will agree with me. It's with yourself
Yeah.
more than it's with anybody else. And it's something that you have to stay true to yourself. Did you go out on the mats, even if you got your
Right.
butt kicked by everybody? You know, and this is how much it means. Like, I'm getting goosebumps because it actually
That's true.
because it means something to me. And it's like if you go out on the mats and you get your ass kicked the entire night, but you know you went out there, you did your best, and you learned something, then who cares? You know,
Right.
that's the victory.
Jiu-jitsu is a therapy, you know?
Yeah.
It's not just like a sport. It's a therapy.
Right.
Like sometimes you work and you're tired, you're stressed, you say, no, I'm going to go home. I don't want to train today. And then you change your mind. You go train
It's
1 hour,
incredible.
1 hour and a half. You feel way better.
It's
You know?
incredible.
Yeah, it's way better, yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say, you guys, tonight's whiskey is Bullet Rye whiskey. We have to mention it every night. This is a small batch. I don't really know what to say because I don't have a little story on the back. So it's good and
It's real good.
It's real good. It's good stuff. So
Please sponsor us, Bullet.
please sponsor us. So we went to 2009 was the last time you'd competed in a major competition, and you just got back into it.
Yeah.
Now something happened. What
yes,
happened?
a big thing. 2009 was a great year for me. I got the second place in the world champion Ogi, and I also was the year that I fought my MMA professional fight.
Won by a
And-
rear naked, right?
Yes,
I
real
was
nature.
there.
Yeah.
It was a good fight.
Yeah, it was.
Very
So
cool.
I was really excited that, but unfortunately in 2010 I got a really bad car accident. I went to Brazil. I supposed to be there just 10 days. On the 7th day I got a really bad car accident, and I was in the hospital for 55 days. I had to
Whoa.
do.
Wow.
I was in coma coma for 5 days.
That's
And
crazy.
my first day I had 3% of chance to survive. Even one of the nurses
It's
called.
scary.
Yeah, one of the nurses that called my aunt and told her, "Look, I don't want to give bad news, bad energy, but I think you guys should pray to your nephews soul, because I don't know if you're gonna survive."
Wow.
So it was first day a 3%, then 25%, then 45%. So I had to learn how to do everything. I had to learn to walk. For me, one of the hardest
Wow.
things was stairs.
Stairs.
Stairs. I used to feel that each of my leg have 500 pounds.
Oh my
You
god.
know, it was hard.
That's
But,
freaking
yeah.
wild.
So
man.
then I
We
was
had a-
able.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. So it was a lot of things that happened. The doctors told my mom, "Say, look, Angela, Bruno have what happened for Bruno? We have two experience: the person die or the person become a vegetable. Bruno is is a miracle, and so you have to work his brain. You know, everything that he when someone come to visit him, ask who is this person? Where do you know him? Things like that. You know, because he can lose his memory.
Brain work. kind of.
Yes,
They're
yeah.
training your brain.
You can
Interesting.
lose your memory. Okay, you can don't recognize the people. Be rude, things like that. So it was not
Wow.
easy. It was not easy. So it was about 5 years. After 5 years that I was able to compete again, and I competed the Pan Ams. I didn't win the Pan Ams, but I won life. You know.
See, and that's
was-
what I was just talking about. It's
Yeah.
Right.
He went out, hasn't competed in 5 years, goes out, competes. You lose on paper,
Right.
but he went out and competed,
To
and that's what
himself, he
jiu-jitsu
won.
is.
Yeah,
you
he
know what I
won.
mean? And that to me is what's so great about it. And I'm not the best. I'll never be a world beater, but I go
You
out.
never know.
What?
You never know.
Eh. But I go out, I have fun, and I learn. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
and when I was,
Jiu-jitsu, you don't lose. You learn. You win or you learn. You know.
and that was going to be one of my questions when you were talking about when it comes to belt promotions, and you were talking about how it's really how you feel if the person deserves it, if they deserve the belt. And you can promote someone to purple belt. Let's just say purple belt's in the middle. You can promote someone to purple belt because they deserve it, and they can still go and get beat by white belts. That's not the
Yeah.
point. That's not the point. The point is that person earned
Yeah.
their
Right.
belt for what they've done.
Exactly.
Not necessarily skill. But some academies are completely skill oriented, right?
Yeah, how I would say that exists two types of jiu-jitsu academy. I'm gonna say is the Brazilian style and American style, but the American style was made for Brazilian people. So the Brazilian style, you want to make a tough guys. To get your blue belt, it's gonna be 2-3 years. We have to go to a tournament, you have to win, you have to do these things. In American style, you go, you pay, you get your belt. For me, it's I cannot be between both. I cannot be a Brazilian and America. I stay between. Why? I worked really hard to get my black belt. It was not easy. I compete. I did a lot of things. But if I try to do here just a Brazilian style, we're not gonna have too many students.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of people that want to do, but they're not able to handle that.
It takes a certain type of
Yes, you
person
cannot
to have
able to handle
mentality.
that.
Mike.
So then, but at the same time, I'm not gonna do the American style. The person just comes, do the class, don't even have to spar, and then
Right.
just pay the membership. And here you go, I give the belt. They have to show that they're really trying.
See,
So I stay
some
between
academies
both.
just do testing where they have a checklist, and it's show me this move, show me this move,
Right.
show me this move. Here you go.
When I was a kid, I did a couple years of karate.
Karate.
Kempo karate.
Okay.
And that's totally how it was. Is the belt promotions were every year, and as long as you check everything off on this list, here's your belt. And I'm like a 10-year-old kid. Did I really earn
We
3 belts in 2 years? No.
We had one time one kid came over. He was, I think, 11 years old, and he was black belt. I don't remember if it was karate or it was taekwondo. So his dad brought, and he wanted to try the class. Okay, so I gave to him like the gi. I gave him the white belt. He's like, okay, but he's a black belting in karate or taekwondo. I say, I know, but jiu-jitsu is totally different.
Yeah, it's
You know?
completely different.
Yes, we don't have the kicks, we don't have punches. I'm like, oh, okay, so.
Now, I wanted to say obviously that Sousa. Am I saying his name right? Sousa.
Sosa.
Sosa promoted you to
Shiny
black
Sousa,
belt. I
yes.
just wanted to mention that
Yeah.
in the show so everybody knows
Thank you.
who got you. So Sosa's a big jiu-jitsu guy in
Yeah.
Brazil.
Okay.
And one of my questions, the main point of this show is to interact with someone, ask questions so everybody can learn.
Uh-huh.
And I have a few questions. I have my little list here. And some of my questions are going to relate to how...
Can I try?
Yeah, go for it. That's why
Thank
it's
you.
there.
I don't know. You didn't drink yours, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm waiting
Let's
at your
hear it.
chair.
There we go.
Thanks so much. I was shy.
Don't be shy.
Bruno was waiting to try the whiskey, guys, and we just did. You like it or what?
Pretty good.
You like the other stuff better?
You know what? I love
different.
Bullet. Like, it's really good.
Bullet's a
Yeah.
great whiskey.
It's one of my favorite
I'm telling you, it's on
bourbons.
Pretty
sale
good.
right now. I'm
Mhm.
telling you.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us. So some of my questions are going to relate to teaching, how
Uh-huh.
you teach different types of people, what you see on the mats.
Uh-huh.
So I just want to let you kind of know
Okay.
what's coming up. So my first question is, from a teaching standpoint, what's it like teaching different individuals in the aspect of somebody that's super skilled? Because there's an event that's been happening recently called Metamoris, and it's put on by
Halleck. Halleck Gracie.
Halleck Gracie.
He's very nice, huh?
Yeah, and it's a type of jiu-jitsu tournament where he's kind of trying to break away from having people in the stands and everything. So you walk into a room, there's you, your other guy, your opponent, there's the mats, there's your coaches, and there's cameras, and that's it.
Okay, so no live audience, but it's televised.
No live audience, and the only thing you do is watch it pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Online.
before you should have the audience. Like now, this one is just like online. You can buy online pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and Bruno was actually you were Babalu's.
Yes, corner.
So Babalu Sobral is UFC retired UFC fighter.
Yes.
And he was
There's
he the
UFC
champion?
and it's right now. He fought for the belt with Chuck Liddell.
Okay.
2 times, and then
Iceman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Iceman. He won like the Strike Force. He was a champion of the Strike Force.
Oh, the Strike
yes.
Force champion.
Yes.
And Bruno and Babalu go way back.
Okay.
So my question to you is it different? What's it like coaching someone that's obviously a skilled black belt compared to coaching someone that's a fresh off the street white belt? Do you change your style at all, or do you still address Babalu like you address any other student? Or is there...
It's different. Yeah, for sure it's different, you know. I cannot, like I said, like some people, like the few people, they learn like right away. Few people, they don't learn like that fast. If I do the same way, I'm going to be frustrated, you know. And the kid or the adult are going to be frustrated. Let's say that I show you how to do the arm sweep, and you learn really fast. I show him how to do arm sweep, and he have a little hard time. And I say, let's go. If I force him too much, maybe he's gonna get frustrated, not gonna come anymore. I don't want to learn
Right,
anymore.
you don't want to burn someone out that's new.
He's not gonna try it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, you're doing good, so you have to see if he's trying. That's the thing. It's not just if you like talking around, not pay attention when you're teaching. That's different, you know. But if he's trying, then you incentivate. You can break down like the position, you know. For example, maybe I show the technique for you, and then you learn really fast. If I show him and he don't learn like right away, I say, look, let's do just a half. So don't want you to do the sweep. I want you to just set up the sweep. Okay, so work. When the person doing good, it's great. Now you're gonna do the end. So like that, you know, because it's everybody's different. You know,
Yeah.
I believe jiu-jitsu is for everybody. Doesn't matter. A lot of people happen. A lot of friends. I'm like, let's say you started training first, and one day your dad came with you. Say, when you're gonna train? And your dad said, I'm old for this. That's a lie.
No, we got
We
guys
already
that
have
are-
like one guy here. You should be 63 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now we have 2 guys 54 years old training, and they're really good.
Yeah, they're
Very
monsters.
cool.
Monsters,
Very
man.
cool.
Yeah. So then the guy said like, I have a problem with my shoulder. Okay, we do a lot of things with the shoulder. You do like a shoulder locks and all that. But when you go spar, you're gonna tell the person, look, my shoulder is bad. Okay, I'm not gonna attack your shoulder. you know. So you can't do it. You see like people who don't have legs. They have legs, but don't have
competing in
arms, and they
competitions.
they even did some tournaments special for these people, you know.
Yeah, and Bruno promotes a very, I mean, you can be aggressive if you want. If your partner's going to be aggressive, you can be aggressive with your partner.
Right.
But that's not the overall theme. Whereas you go to some academies, and that's how it is there. And I think that's his Brazilian style versus the American style. When you say,
Yeah, like
in a sense,
what I say is, strength is good. It is good, but
50% strength.
yes, but I say
Every
always,
class.
first you're supposed to be learning the technique. To then put the speed with the cardio. To then come with the strength. Is strength help? Yes, help. But if you just have strength, I heard this few months ago. If you just have strength and don't have technique, it's the same thing you have outside a nice Ferrari, but don't have engine. It look really beautiful, but not gonna bring you anywhere. You know, if you see two guys, they have like the same techniques, like the same speed, but one is stronger. The stronger person gonna have more chance than the other one.
Right.
But it's not the main thing.
Yeah, and you've got like, for me personally, I don't know how it is for other people training, but for some people, you know, they're world beaters at 18, you know? What are you looking at?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, they're world beaters at 18. And for me, I feel like the older I get, the more intelligent I get, and the more understanding I have of the sport, if that makes sense. So I feel like I'm improving with age because I'm understanding, okay, I need to calm down. I need to put my foot here. I need to put my arm here. I need to not be so, you know what I mean? So
Right.
about it. And that brings me to my next question, which is trusting the technique. Now, you're a big promoter of trusting the technique, right? Where it's, if Bruno tells you to do something, jiu-jitsu, there's still new moves being created.
Always.
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 But then there's the classic moves. And I always forget it. But which Gracie was it that walked in and said he's only going to do collar chokes?
Hodger Gracie.
Hodger Gracie. He walked into a tournament, told everybody, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a collar choke. The most simple choke in the world. Told everybody he was going to do it, and he won the entire competition just by doing collar chokes. Even though he told everybody what he was going to do.
And like everybody should be on their toes, like, okay, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna get
but
myself into that
it's the
position.
technique. It's when
Yeah, sometimes it's like, for example, if you know how to do the technique really good, the other person know you're going to defend, but they cannot stop you. You know?
Dude, it's
That's the
insane,
thing,
man. You get caught in some stuff, and you know
Yeah.
how to get out of it.
Right.
I 100% know how to get out of this move, but the technique is so good that you can't. It's insane, man. It's and that's what, like, it's hard to explain to people, you know, to people that don't watch MMA
Right.
or jiu-jitsu or anything like that. That was actually, it's going to be one of my topics. I'll touch on it next. But when you see two guys leaning against the cage in MMA, or you see two guys on the ground in MMA, oh, this is boring. This is boring. It's like, you don't understand how much
Right. There's actually
strength
a lot of stuff
is
going
being
on.
put into that. Excuse me. Still getting over this cold. How much strength is going into that contest that's going on the ground, you know? And that was going to be one of my questions was, do you ever feel as a 2-stripe black belt now,
2 degrees.
2-degree black belt, that jiu-jitsu is going to ever be like a mainstream sport, or do you think it's too hard for people to understand?
That's a great question. Great question. If you, for example, if you see the IBJJF, that's the biggest tournament, you know, the world champion, the black belts are 10 minutes. I think like a 10 minutes is too long. I'm not saying like I should be too.
Well, it's 8 minutes
tired.
for a takedown, though.
Yeah, you know, so like have few tournaments that are making 6 minutes for those and anything like the black belts. I think it's more dynamic. Dynamic, yeah, thank you. But the IBJF, like the rules, they have so many rules. Every year they change rules. Every year they change rules. Metamor is like this pretty good idea. It's 20 minutes, but it's like let's say you and I are gonna compete. It's just one fight, it's a super fight. It's just submission.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah, just submission. If you don't tap me, if you don't tap him, it's a draw. So that's pretty good. Like the thing is, sometimes like you see, like my mom, just here to understand. The first time my mom went to see me, I was competing. I pull guard because I like most times to be on the ball. I pull guard. My mom, Bruno, get out there. And my friend, no, Angela, he's in good position.
He's doing all right.
How is he in good position? He's on the bottom. No, but he's good. Are you sure? Yeah, he's good. It's okay. So I swept the guy. I was on top. But the guy started doing a triangle choke with his legs. And I'm like, good job, bro. Stay right there. Stay right there. And my friend, no, he's not good. How he's not good? He's on top. And my friend, yeah, but he's getting choked. How? He's like, he's the other guy's leg. So then after the tournament, my mom said, look, bro, I'm not going to watch your tournaments anymore because I don't understand nothing. And I get nervous. And I don't know. I say, thank you, because you get nervous and make me nervous. You know, so that's the thing. That's not, you have to, I think you can, but you have to adjust a lot. Especially because the rules, you know?
So you think that it'd have to be marketed more to be more, because I personally, and this is my own personal opinion, and I don't know how you feel about it. I've never actually really talked to you about this, but I personally do not agree with the point system. I don't like the point system because I feel it's making it, and that's why I want to hear your opinion on it, because I feel like it's making it more of training someone just to do what they need to score points in order to win, rather than making it kind of what the sport's about, you know. And what's your thought process?
I have two things to talk about.
Let's hear it.
First one about the points. One of my friends, he organized last year the Vulcan tournament, and the rules are a little different because sweep is when you have a guard, so open guard, closed guard. A lot of people don't understand that, but it's when you have the control of your legs. Okay,
guys in between your legs.
Yeah,
you have the control.
Yeah, so you have control. Then if I reverse the person, that would be 2 points. But if you, let's say you pass my guard, you got 3 points, right? So you're on my side control. If I reverse you on the IBJJF, most tournaments, if I reverse, it's not a point. I just reverse you, right? On these tournaments, doesn't matter what happened. If you from the bottom go on top, is a 2 points. And I like that because if you pass my guard, you're in the top, and I'm able to reverse you even without my legs, that's supposed to give me something, you know? And like the biggest tournaments, the other tournaments, you don't give that. That's I don't like that, you know. And
sorry, go ahead. No, go.
And the other thing is about like you didn't supposed to work just to get the points. I saw people like do advantage, like almost the thing, and then be stalling there. You know, the goal of the jiu-jitsu is the submission. You know, you have to work to submit the other person. Right. You know, you have like a chokes, you have arm bars, like shoulder locks, ankle locks, wrist locks, things like that. That's the goal, not just be they stalling and then just get the point and just be holding the person. That's it.
And just so I realized we didn't really describe what's going on here, so people might not know. So in a jiu-jitsu tournament, it's a point system. Right. Unless you submit. If you submit the other person, then you win. But there's a point system. So if I take you down, I get points. Right. If you defend, you get points, and it keeps going. So in some tournaments, guys will go, I have side control, that's X amount of points. I'll go to mount, that's X amount of points, and I'll go back to side control, that's X amount of points. And they can manipulate, because those are easy transitions.
Right. Easy points, easy transitions.
Easy points, easy transitions. So some guys, what Bruno's talking about, will stall the match by just keep getting points by doing that. And like I was saying, I think it should be a submission only deal, but whatever. Matches would take forever if it was submission only for some.
It's hard for you, or like imagine if you, like a lot of people want to put, let's say, put jiu-jitsu in Olympic sport. It's good, but how many people in the world understand jiu-jitsu rules?
Right.
How many? What do you think about? And like lately, most people want to pull guard, be on the bottom. Few guys pull guard and be both sitting on the ground there for 10 minutes. You mean that you imagine watching a fight for 10 minutes? How boring would be that? You know?
Yeah, but I don't understand curling. I don't understand fencing. You know, those are Olympic sports. What?
Fencing is just sword fighting. I mean, that's pretty simple.
But you know what I mean. Like,
stick them with the pointy.
Explain curling to me, guy.
They got the boulders
and
the brooms and
you don't know what you're talking about. but that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of sports in the Olympics that I don't understand that are sports. So jiu-jitsu, which is a recognized sport, it's not in the Olympics, and that's what I feel. One of the biggest problems with it is it's not. It can't be marketed like the NFL or baseball, because you could turn on baseball and you can go, okay, guy wants to hit the ball and get people around the bases. Football, they want to get the ball into the end zone. But you turn on an MMA fight and there's two guys hugging against a iron cage.
Well,
and you're like, what the hell's going on?
MMA is different though, because
I guess
the spectator aspect of it, from the point of view of someone that doesn't know what the hell is going on, is these two guys are going to beat the shit out of each other, and that's fun to watch.
Somebody's got to win.
Yeah.
Like, it's just primal, just people beating the shit out of each other. Where like jiu-jitsu is more, it's all technique and way different.
That's what I'm saying though. But you can watch a jiu-jitsu match, and you can watch a 10-minute match, and it'll just be two guys on the ground,
Right.
And everybody's like, okay, this is boring. Like, what the hell's going on?
Exactly. There's
But
no
anybody
wow
that-
factor.
But anybody that knows what's going on is like, oh,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, oh my god. Like if you're watching a big black belt fight. I mean, a black belt fight, like I said earlier, kind of as a joke, but it takes them 7 or 8 minutes just to get a takedown.
Right.
To even where white belts are 30 seconds into the match, at least somebody rushed somebody and tried to make it happen. You know what I mean? But there's so much skill involved that they're standing up for 5, 7, 6, whatever minutes.
Yeah, it depends a lot. Like I said, the jiu-jitsu changing a lot. You know, today, before most people should like to be on top. Today, most people like to be on the bottom. No, like so most time like they got handshake, but for one of the rules, you cannot like a pull guard without make a grip. So you see like both like I don't want to let the other person touch you, and they grab both sit down. You know, you stay there. Now they change the rules. If you both pull guard, you have 20 seconds to do something. If not, you start stand up again. Both got penalty, and then go again. If both pull guard and it's up to 20 seconds, then they go both got 2 negative points and give her that. So they're trying to change a little bit, you know.
Now, do they send you these rules?
No, they don't send the rules. What happens is if you go to the IBJJF like website, we have the rules there. You know, even like for example, like if they change, like most times in the end of the year, if they change, they update there. If you want to do, you can do the rules meeting. That's like most like a big tournaments like Pan Am's, World Champion, National. You can do that.
Now so obviously it kind of sucks for you as an instructor because you have to constantly stay up to date on those
Yeah, it
rules
is.
to be able to teach, because you could teach your students something wrong and they go into the
Yeah.
tournament and then
Yeah, they're
they're
screwed.
losing
Yeah.
points
Yeah.
and for what? That's right, you know, and interesting. Yeah. So okay. Now let me see here. Where do you personally feel jiu-jitsu is going? Do you see it? Do you see more students coming in? Do you see more students leaving? Do you see, you go to Babble's gym, do you see more students there coming in? Or you go down to, with Ricardo down in Kings, do you see more students coming in? Or do you see people leaving? Or do you see it growing?
I think, yeah, jiu-jitsu is growing a lot. The last few years that grew a lot. And always going to have someone leaving, you know, because maybe they move or they got hurt or the job or things like that, the schedule.
Right.
You know, sometimes you see some young guy come here, start to fall in love, but then he has to go to college somewhere else. They have to move. Or you see like someone like you have a family, you know, his wife, his sons, and then like his sons have like a baseball on third time, so he cannot come because like he has to do like his son, you know, things like that. Unfortunately, we're gonna always have someone leaving, but if you compare how many people is starting, how many people are doing, it's way bigger. It's really popular now, really popular.
Perfect. So do you feel that jiu-jitsu and MMA, this was a question I was thinking about. Now I might phrase it wrong because it was bouncing around in my head. But do you feel that the MMA type of jiu-jitsu, which is there's gi jiu-jitsu, which is like when we wear the pajamas. It's like the best way to describe it is when we wear those pajamas.
Is this one here?
Yeah, right here. I don't know if the
Like one of
camera
these.
can the camera see
There
that?
you go.
So that's a gi, and then there's no gi, which is like shorts or spandex and a shirt or whatever. And do you feel that no gi jiu-jitsu is more effective as a form of self-defense compared to gi jiu-jitsu?
Yes and no.
Yes or no?
That's
It's like a personal opinion type. deal.
Yeah, like the thing is, people say I want to do self-defense. I want to know jiu-jitsu to defend myself. I don't want to do it with gi because people don't walk on the street with gis.
Right.
When the person tell me this, I ask him, does the people walk naked on the street?
Exactly. Like
No, for them right now we have a shirt right now. I can choke you with your shirt.
Exactly.
You know, I can choke you with your shirt too.
You
One
try.
time, I can't. If you rip it, I get in there and choke you with that.
Bonus footage.
So one time I saw even like two brothers, like a black belt. They're doing some videos of like self-defense and showing how to deal with that. A sweater, a t-shirt, tank top, and one of them like took out the t-shirt. Say like, now what are you gonna do? So the guy that was the other brother, he was with what do you know that thing there? Weasel.
Yeah.
Weasel. So he have like the thing on the neck. So he took that out that thing and choked the guy with that thing. So for sure, if you think about like no-gi helps more because you don't have to grab enough. You cannot grab. Even if in the tournaments, if you're doing like with shorts and like a rash guard, you cannot grab the rash guard. You have to just hold the body. But to self-defense on the street, I'm not gonna tell like, look, you cannot hold my shirt, please.
Yeah.
You know, you
Come
can
on,
be able
don't
to do
stress
this.
Yeah,
you know?
let's lay down some
Yeah,
ground
yes,
rules
please.
before we do this.
Yeah, you know, so I think both help each other. Is what I said. What you can do in the no-gi, everything you can do in no-gi, you can do in gi. But not everything that you can do in gi, you can do in no-gi.
Right.
You know, especially for like in the tournaments. No, nothing about self-defense. For example, for me, my game total changed for 3 different things. Like with the gi, I like a lot of open guards. So I use a lot of grips, the grips in the sleeve, the collar. So the no-gi, when I start training no-gi, I cannot do this. I don't have like these sleeves. I don't have the collar. So I have to change my game. Then after, when I start training for my MMA fight, I have to change my game too. Because the no-gi, I usually like hug the guy's legs. But when I hug the guy's leg, I'm like leaving my head away, like unprotected, you know? So you have to adjust sometimes your game, you know?
So what are your personal thoughts on some of these new techniques that are coming out that you see, like the worm guard or Brembolo, or so there's new moves. Oh, he's on his phone. He's so
Sorry.
disengaged right now.
I'm listening.
Let's text him.
Text him right
Get
now.
yourself on.
Hey, look up at the show, bro. Hey, so there's techniques that are being introduced now, and it's kind of like fringe jujitsu, if that's a good way to describe it. I know it's kind of funny to say, but that's the best way to describe it. Where these guys that have gotten really, really, really good at these really kind of offbeat techniques, and they're making their own style out of it. One of them is called worm guard. Then there's a move called Brembolo, which is starting to gain a lot of popularity.
Berimbolo,
Yeah. Did I say it wrong?
Berimbolo.
Bimbolo?
Berimbolo.
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 Let me Americanize it. Brembolo.
Can we do it like 38 more times?
I know, right? But there's a bunch of different moves so that's what I'm asking him. Compared to like classic jujitsu, where it's, let's do this, boom, boom, boom. Now you got these guys. No, I'm gonna grab here, loop this around here, spin you this way, roll this way. It's kind of just different. So what are your?
I feel like I said, the jiu-jitsu is changing a lot. Like I said, now most people want to pull guard, be on the bottom. And then they develop a lot of sweeps. Then for berimbolo, you start on the bottom, like so with the De La Riva, and sweep the guy going straight to the back. That's a really good technique. And have like a warm guard. They use the lapel, and it's really hard to the person pass your guard if you're holding the lapel, and it work the sweeps from there. I think that's really good. And is what I said, you have to learn how to do these to learn how to defend these.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know?
That's
the
a good
thing.
point,
Yeah, it's like, for example, it's one of the big things that I felt. I was 5 years without competing, so for a long time I was not training too much. I was barely training, Like I was training, stop, and train again a little bit and stop. And I have to learn these new techniques too because I have to defend them,
Right.
So that's the thing. So I think it's good. Jiu-jitsu is always, like I said, I'm learning. Sometimes I learn with another friend, a black belt. Sometimes I learn with another brown belt and with a blue belt. Sometimes you do one choke that I never did like that. You do different. Some techniques are really good for you. Some techniques is better for me, because I'm taller than you. So maybe it's going to be better for you, but not be true for you. Some techniques is not good for me because I'm way taller. Maybe it'd be okay for me. This is like the body chess. Sometimes when I train with you, I do better than you. You train for him, you do better than him. Okay? Then he training for me, he does better than me. It's a body chess.
Yeah, and there's certain moves because Bruno's obviously taller than me. I don't know if anybody noticed.
I don't think so.
But
just a 1 inch or 2 inches.
But he's got long legs, so he can slap on triangles. Where I've got little short legs, and triangles is a leg choke.
Right.
So he can slap them on, and it's really hard for me to get the leverage and everything because of my small legs. So certain moves are better for me, and that's what he's kind of talking about with the body chess aspect of it.
Don't tell me, tell them.
I'm telling the camera. I'm looking at the camera, and I'm looking at you. What if I could make my eyes move, and I could get one eye on you and one eye on the camera?
I'd be okay with that. I'd be fine with that.
So what is your personal opinion on if you're teaching a technique, right, and you see them on the mats, not during a sparring phase and not during a specific training, but you see them on the mat and they're trying to work a different technique than what you're showing. What is that? What is your reaction to that as an instructor?
depend. Depend for example, like I said, like few techniques are not good for you, few things are not good for me. Sometimes if I'm gonna show a beating bullet for someone that's really big, it's gonna be hard to do it because they have to go upside down. It's gonna be hard. But let's say that I have like one guy that's really big on the class. Should I teach the technique or no?
Well,
yes, I should.
Yes.
Because I should, because the other guys gonna learn that. They have to learn that. Even maybe it's not good for him. You have to learn how to do it to then be able to how to defend. Maybe sometimes let's say the guy is like a white belt.
Special guest. Okay, so white belt.
Like let's say like a white belt, he have a hard time to do this, and he's doing the technique with like a one purple belt. So the purple belt can say, look, maybe you have a hard time to do this. You can do this. They'll show a different little bit, but if I'm showing you like a two blue belts, I show like the sweep. They're able to do it, but they're doing something else. I ask like, did I show this?
Yeah,
I forgot. I don't remember. Did I forget? Did you show this? I only they focus on that thing. To then go to the next step. To then go to the next step. Next step.
Now, is how you address that? Is that all dependent on what type of instructor you are? Because you're very, I want to say you're very mellow and kind of cool with how the class is being taught. If you see somebody doing that, hey guys, did I show you that? Really? Here's what I want you to do. Now, are some instructors like, what do you get off the mats? The
thing is like I'm really calm, but I have a limit. It's some people, unfortunately, they cross the line. I already put people outside of the mat. To be doing something like a
big deal.
Yeah, some doing something that it was not the first time. It was not like a person never did nothing wrong. He did once, and I put him outside. No, but it happened. I have like a few people that, just a couple people. I said, look, man, don't do this, and then I said, look, man, don't do this, man, don't do this, and I push the guy outside the mat. It's the thing is, it's for everybody. But you have, like I said, Jiu-Jitsu is a martial art, is a discipline. You have to respect. Even if I show you one technique that you don't like, you're gonna do that. Maybe you're not gonna do that when you're sparring. Like I said, I have some techniques that I hate. I don't like to do that.
Right.
But maybe you love that. Okay, I'm a black belt, you're a blue belt. Gonna be great for you, but I hate that. And I say I hate, I'm not gonna teach. No. Have many techniques that I do not like, but I still teaching. That's the thing. But maybe I show you one technique that's not gonna be good for you. You're like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna practice. No, you have to practice. Maybe you're not gonna put it on your how to say as your weapons. Your attacks or things like that.
My repertoire.
That's what I think.
But so you have to teach the move, because if you hate a move, it could be perfect for me though.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to show the move.
Yes.
And okay, so
sometimes even if I hate the move, and it's important for me to be learning that, because I hate, but maybe for example half guard, I do not like to be doing half guard on the bottom, but sooner or later someone gonna put me in that position, and what I'm gonna do? I have to deal with that. So I have to teach that. I have to practice that. I have to put myself on the positions like that, even positions that I don't like.
And you kind of touched on it a little bit from like a technique aspect, but what are your thoughts towards helping someone if you're not specifically asked? So let's hypothetical. I'm going against a white belt. I know the move. The white belt's kind of messing up. I'm telling him what to do. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that? Do you know?
No, you should. Yeah, you should.
You should. So I know that because I did some research to get these questions to ask you. So from my research, I learned that a lot of instructors hate that.
No, you should. That for example, when I gonna point the guys on this point, if let's say you're a beginner, and I gonna put you to go most times, especially in the beginning, with the high belts. It's not because they want the high belt to beat you. It's because the high belt know what they're doing. And they're gonna help you. If I put two beginners, they don't have technique yet. What they have is strength. The chance they get hurt is pretty big, So I want to put you to go with another purple belt, and the purple belt gonna help you. Say, look, Jake, don't grab here. grab here. Don't grab the collar, have the sleeve. If you're on this position here, you have to push, not pull like that.
Interesting. So there, okay.
Yeah.
I always thought I know there was a method to the madness, but
For example, but I already had one guy that it was a white belt, and he was trying coach blue belts. You know, from outside the mat. He's like, hey, no, don't do this. Like, hey, calm down. He's a blue belt. Okay, if you want to help another white belt, or even the blue belt, for example, maybe the blue belt was doing something wrong, but you're not gonna say in front of, I don't think that's right to say in front of everybody, hey, do this. Even he was not sparring, he was just sitting on the bleachers. After the sparring finish, you say, like, for example, let's say, Jake, like, do you know, like, when you do that choke there, like, I like to do this, what do you think about? You like to say, like, hey, Jake, you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
This is respect.
Stop doing it wrong. You're not listening. Okay. So that kind of leads back to my my respect on. I have a next question: is respect on the mats? What is that? How can I phrase this? Is that a Brazilian aspect that was brought to the sport? The whole idea of the respect on the mats, and there's so many nuances when it comes to respect on the mats, and you'll admit that too, that there's so many. You bow before you get on the mat. You do this. You try not to let your belt drag on the ground. You try not to disrespect a higher belt or ruin their belt, or there's just a bunch of different rules. Now, are these rules been set in stone?
I'm not gonna say that's Brazilian, because I know a lot of Brazilians that they don't have respect at all. A lot of Brazilians, the great jiu-jitsu, the great techniques, but they are not respect at all. I know like a few many guys like that. I think I don't know if it's just because it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but few guys do it, few guys they do not do it too much.
And so it's like an academy by academy type deal.
Yeah.
So what's disrespectful here could be perfectly acceptable up the street.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Like I already saw one time, like a black belt, he was showing the technique online, okay, on the video on YouTube. And then another guy, he did the video, okay? No names, but the guy did the video. And then another guy from a different academy, a blue belt, he posted this video on the Facebook and talk about to send it to his professor. Say, professor, look, this guy, he never gonna be like a respected like you are, and this. This guy that did the video, he's really technical. He's really good. He's crazy. So what happened on the video? Have some kids when you were showing the technique, the class, the people was sparring, and have some kids running around on the mat, and he said, "Hey, stop you run like this! If you're not gonna beat you, And like the other guy, the blue belt, got like, "Oh my God, how you do this with a kid?" I know the guy was a little too rough with the kid, but he's really good, and he was saying like, he's like I said, he's respect. Is it? But no, I'm not gonna say he's like a Brazilian. He's not Brazilian. Like I already saw like a Brazilian guys that's really respectful. A lot of Brazilian guys that totally disrespectful. Like American guys, they both hate you.
And my question to you about the respect on the mats was, Bruno's gonna laugh at this, but at our academy, I always fight him on this. That's the big deal. But you're only allowed to wear 3 colored gis: black, blue, and
white.
Black, blue, and white. Now I found pink if you're
a girl.
Yes, if you're a girl.
Okay.
Now I found this really cool all orange Dragon Ball Z gi, and no, my real question.
You want to put me in the corner? Huh?
No, but my real question is, what's the reasoning behind that rule? Is there?
The thing is, like, I like the traditional jiu-jitsu. Okay, before it used to be just white gis, then became white and blue gis. I remember when black gis was not allowed to do in tournaments. Then it was allowed to white, black, and blue, And then they started putting like a white gis with like a black stitches, and like a blue gis with these are different color stitches. I was not a big fan of this. And then it started to pingy, and like a blue, like have a royal blue and a marine blue, and then have red, yellow. I already saw camouflage gi. Yeah. I have one gi that I saw, I'm not joking.
I almost bought it. It's made by Fuji.
I saw one gi that was like a rainbow gi. That's
So-
a personal thing that I like. It's the white, black, and blue.
Well, so you want it. So let me. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but you want it to be more of like a team, and you don't want one person sticking out with a loud gi. You want us to all kind of be a team.
Yeah, it's like even like a few academies, you don't even let black geese. It's just white and black, white and blue. Few academies just let white gi. You can compete however you want, but to train the academy, you have to be white geese.
Now, are there rules in IBJFF?
IBJJF.
Yeah, IBJF. I'm sorry.
IBJF. You can do white, black, and blue. Okay, but black belts now, almost sure that you cannot do black anymore. You have to be white and blue. So they like try and make the sport more professional. Like the belt cannot be too short, cannot be too long, cannot be like the gi rip it a little bit, and things like that.
Yeah, they have to be like a certain weave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the gis come in different weaves. There's like competition weave, training weave, and
That's okay. Like about like the thing is, it can be like a tick. The thing is, cannot be like a too tie on the arm. So they have like a measure, something to measure to be like make sure that's like on the arm. Here there cannot be like a what else? Cannot be too short on the arm. It should be close to the wrist. Things like that.
there's small unfair advantages. That is
Right.
true.
Yeah,
That's
that
small.
helps.
But that kind of stuff would make a big difference.
Yeah, for sure.
During a fight.
Now, kind of relating back to what we talked about before, about promotions and the belts, and how you promote off of if you feel that person's ready, not necessarily if they're a world beater. Now, does this theory hold true to there's the students that are constantly competing, which is good, that's great, compared to the students that never compete? They just show up to the classes and they show up, they listen, they do their job. Now, both are good students. Okay, you got two white belts that walk through the door. They start the same day. You got one white belt that shows up 5 times a week, trains, does his job, does whatever. You got another white belt that shows up 3, sometimes 4 times a week, but he does tournaments and he wins and blah, blah, blah. Both the same respect, both the same everything. Now, are those two going to be on the same track in your mind towards promotions?
Depends on what the guy look for.
Okay.
For example, let's say you, Jake, you want to be world champion, and you have the potential to be world champion. Then you go there, and then you lost on the semifinal, or the semifinal. You got like third place. I'm gonna give you like probably like the belt. I'm gonna promote, or maybe not. If I really see if you want to, I wait you a little more to compete. A little more. And some guy like I want to compete, but he go there and lost the first match. He's not that, He's not just. Some few people like to compete. Few people like to win. That's the difference. That's why I always say when you go to tournament, go to get the gold. Doesn't matter the result, but go to get the gold. Go to think about that.
If you're gonna do it with some heart. Even if you're gonna lose, you still should.
So depend. Like if what is your goal? Your goal is to be world champion. I'm gonna be trying to hold you a little more, but not gonna be holding you for like 3 years. Let's say this year you lost on the quarterfinals. Next year you lost on the semifinals. I'm gonna hold again to like then like a two,
So if my goal.
Sorry, 1 second, please. Even
Yes.
for example, can happen. For example, like say this year you competed as a blue belt, and then you got like lost in the quarterfinals. Next year you competed, then you lost in the semifinals. I mean, next year you say I'm gonna win for sure. Can happen, then you're going to lose the first match. Like it's not like you can.
There's no guarantees.
Yes,
There's no guarantees.
the perfect
Any given night.
Yes,
dude,
if you
anything.
get the guy set up the submission, why not? That's what happened. Like sometimes, like you see, like from a white belt tapping a blue belt, a blue belt tapping a brown belt, because like he set up a good position the guy wasn't expecting, or he let get a point that you cannot defend anymore.
So I guess what my question is asking, because you're saying what the motivation is. The two guys that came in here, the one guy never wants to do tournaments. He's just here to do the classes and learn and have fun. The other guy wants to be a world champion. Okay, are they going to be on the same road in your mind?
Like I said, like it depends. The guy that wants to be the world champion, is he really able to be world champion?
Okay.
You know, because I have to see. It's not that he wants to be a world champion. How fast he learned.
Yeah, I want a Lamborghini,
You know?
but I'm not gonna.
Maybe like for a few guys they train 3 times a week. They like really good. Few people they train 6 times a week. They're okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it depends.
Everybody's skill level. Yeah. Okay.
It happens sometimes. Happened on the belt promotion that there's few people they get mad because they did not get promoted. Few people get mad because they got promoted. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to make everybody happy.
It's true, man. I've seen it before, and not at this academy, but other academies where somebody got promoted, and they had the time in, and they had this, and they deserved it, but so many people were mad about it because that person wasn't good.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you and Bruno's kind of taking this idea towards a more progressive view of it, where it's like, who cares if they're good? You know what I mean? In that sense. They have heart, and that's kind of what
you earn it. Yeah.
Yeah, you earn it. You know, which is kind of I think, and that's the thing too. And I think Bruno will agree with me, because when you go from a white belt to a blue belt that same day, man, holy shit, are you better? and I think it's a mental. I think it's a mental thing, right? Don't you see that? It's
funny, like you say about that. When I moved to here, you should have one guy. You should do privates with me twice a week. And then after a while, he was like, man, I can't wait to get my blue belt. Can't wait to get my blue belt. And I told him, look, more you talk about blue belt, longer you're going to be to get your blue belt. And then I say, yeah, and then to get your purple belt, it's going to be even longer. He told Bruno, I don't care how long it takes me to get my purple belt, but I want to get my blue belt. He told me one thing that makes sense.
I just don't want to be a white belt anymore.
He told me like that, look, my mom is a white belt, if you think about it.
Yeah.
My grandma is a white belt, if you think about it. I said, but you're a white belt 4 stripes. I know, but he's still a white belt. When I become a blue belt, my mom is not a blue belt. So I said, okay.
See, because you'll see in like tournaments, and you'll see how many stripes was Sotera? Did I say his name right? How did the Worlds?
Who is that about?
The white belt, our white belt that just won Worlds.
Sonetra.
Sonetra. I'm sorry, I messed up his name. I
Sonetra.
said Santera. Sonetra. I'm
4
sorry.
stripes. He was 4 stripes.
He was a 4 stripe. So when you look at him on the podium for Worlds, you see him. He won first place, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And you see him with 4 stripes, and then you see in second place a no stripe, and then you see in third place a 2 stripe. So it really is kind of just right place, right time for certain aspects of it. Because if a no stripe can get second place.
Right.
Few people do something that I don't like. For example, let's say that I'm like a purple belt, 4 stripes. So I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna just with my purple belt without stripes. I don't like they know that I'm trained for that long. Say, do you think that they're gonna really change?
See, we talked
the
about
result.
that earlier.
You know, do you think they're gonna really change the result
Just
because they see if you have a 4 stripes or not?
Stripes, you still could lose.
Yeah.
But I think what Bruno's trying to say is the mental aspect of it. When you look at somebody with 4 stripes, in your mind, you're going, oh shit, that guy. Right. I'm a blue belt, but that guy's a 4-stripe blue belt.
Okay, so how many stripes in each belt?
4.
Well, until the black.
Until the black belt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when you get the black, remember you asked me the belts earlier?
It's a time.
Then you don't lose the belts, the stripe. These we call degrees. So the black belt is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees.
Okay.
When you get your 7 degrees, you become a black and red belt.
Right.
But you still with the 7 degrees.
Right.
Then when you get your 8th degree, you become like a red and white belt. You still for the 8th degree. And then 9th degree, you become like a red belt.
Okay.
Now, can belts be taken away?
Yes, I already saw people doing this. I never had to do this, but I already saw people doing this.
What would warrant that? What would cause
the person be disrespectful, really disrespectful, or do something like a really, like a rude on the mat, something like that. If someone do something rude on the mat, the person not going to be stepping back here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I do it.
It's a big deal.
Interesting.
Respect's a big deal.
Yeah.
So back to the stripe thing. So you have to go through all 4, right, before you progress?
No, it depends.
Then you get the white belt.
Right.
You go 4 degrees, first stripe, second, third, fourth. Then you get your blue belt.
Okay.
Few academies, they don't give stripes.
They just progress.
Yes, for them, when I was in Brazil, I remember you get 1-time stripes. Many academies in Brazil, they just give the belt, you know. Here, most ones they give stripes, but a few ones they don't.
But to answer your question a little bit more in depth, a 2-stripe could go to a full belt higher. For example, Payon, Mike,
Right. Mm-hmm.
he went from a 2-stripe blue to a purple because he was ready for that transition.
Okay, so you don't have to do all four.
It's all about the person promoting. So
You're saying about asking about the belt, you go back on the belt. I know one guy that jumped the belt. He won the world champion as a purple belt. His professor, instead of giving him the brown belt, gave him the black belt.
straight to black belt.
Straight black belt. Today he's good. But for a few years, he was not good because it's a big step. You know, like a brown belt, have many things you can do as a brown belt you cannot do as a blue belt and purple belt and white belt, like a toe holds, knee bars, calf slicers. You know,
Explain it.
yeah.
So
submissions.
So when the higher up in your belts you get, the more it's like a video game. It's like unlocking
you're
achievements.
allowed
so
to do.
The more you're allowed to do, the higher up in belt you get,
Okay.
because there's moves that they don't want. Like Bruno said earlier, a lot of white belts are very you have to train with the white belts very hard in the idea of just
Relax
calm
and-
down.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to go 100 miles an hour to win.
I tell about one guy after.
Yeah. So you have to tell them to calm down, and you got these guys going 100 miles an hour, and imagine if a guy going 100 miles an hour tries to snap a knee bar on you, which is a real sensitive joint, and pops your knee because he's going
Right.
110.
Because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Because he doesn't really know what he's doing. He knows the technique. He's watched a YouTube video. He knows how to set it up, but it's not, it's finishing the move and using enough strength to get the guy to go, okay, but not get the guy to, be hurt or anything like
Right.
that. So what was your story?
Never say about like this. Like we had one guy. He was a white belt. He used to train in Hollywood, and he moved to here. So he started training fast, and he was going so hard. Like a 0 to 10, he used to train like a 12. So hard. And I used to tell, like, look, man, slow down, man. You're gonna hurt people. And he was hurting people. So look, slow down. One day I sparred for him. It was 5 minutes, 6 minutes. I pull guard, I triangle choke him. So then, like, again, we started again. I pull guard, did the same technique. So he started to see, try to defend, I choke him. Third time, I choke him the same way. After finish, I said, did you see that? I showed you that's not just the strength. It's a technique.
It's all about technique.
If you know how to do it, you're going to do it. And I told him, you're lucky that you're here in the United States, not in Brazil. If not, I will beat you even more. And you're like, I will like that. I said, no, you're not like that. Because I will choke you. After you tap, you hold a little more. I will do armbar in you. You tap, you pull a little more. He's like, oh, okay. So then like a 0 to 10 from 12. He got a little better. He did go to 8 like that. He even got his blue belt. But then he moved back to Hollywood.
See, there's certain positions, and I've learned this from my personal experience. And like I said, I'm no master or world beater or anything like that. But when you're rolling with somebody that's of a higher belt, they get a position. You know the position's coming. They know the position's coming. They can get the armbar on you, and they don't have to tweak it. It's just kind of a mutual respect between you two that this position's you got it. It's done. Let's start over.
Right.
But for some of the guys that white belts, stuff like that, they can go a little bit harder on you. They'll try to finish the move because they don't understand that connection. You know what I mean? So that's
It's
my
what
own
I
personal
said.
experience.
I said like I can train with you for 5 minutes. Go hard with you and don't hurt you. Go hard don't mean hurt the person. I can go with you 5 minutes and tap you 5 times and don't hurt you.
Unless you're
The
mine.
same way, yeah. Then the same way, maybe I can go with you 5 minutes, do not tap you and hurt you. So
Right.
that's the thing. Like is what I say a lot. You want to go hard, you want to work the submission, but you don't have to hurt the person. You like for example, maybe you work with construction. So if you get hurt here, you're gonna work tomorrow? No.
No.
It's not everybody that work on the office sitting down and doing the things like that. Even if you hurt your hand, how you gonna type? How you gonna do things? That's really important. You want to go hard, but you don't want to hurt yourself. I always say you want to challenge yourself, but respect yourself. You want to challenge yourself and respect your training partner.
And respect the partner,
Yeah.
which is true because you got guys like, for example, Mike. Mike came from a super aggressive academy.
Okay.
And then he comes here and here's it's a lot more mellow, right? But that's how Mike. He's very good at establishing dominance. I know it sounds like I know it sounds cliche, but he really is. He's good at doing what he does.
Yes, he is.
And he can get on top of you and it's over, right? But there's that respect that is understood between the two people that are in combat. You know what I mean? There's that respect where Mike knows, I've got this move. I know I can break your arm. I know I can do it. You know I can break your arm. What's the point in still going and showing that I can break your arm? You know what I mean? And some of the guys, like we were just saying, that go super hard don't grasp that concept, you know? So I've got one more question here that I want to end it with, but I want to know real quick for you, do you have any other questions? I mean, now's your time to learn, man. Have you been paying attention to anything?
Yeah, I've been listening the whole time.
No, you told me that he may be going to do the class.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it. I mean, right now I have like zero time.
He lives in a Corona too. He lives pretty far away. So
Yeah, I live in Corona, work in Irvine. So, and then I go to school and do this. And I know I'm making a lot of excuses, but I really don't have any time right now. It probably wouldn't realistically
and a newborn baby, and so he's got a lot of.
It wouldn't realistically be until I was out of school.
Yeah.
But I am really interested in doing it. I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah, if you have a chance. you're more
Mention
than
Whiskey
welcome.
Babble, and you get 1 week free.
Oh, boy. Normally we just do one free class. You can have like free week, free trial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I am really interested.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, before I ask my last question, I'm gonna kind of change that over. That's one of my questions right there. I kind of already know the answer, but I kind of want to hear it from you. Do you, or maybe I don't know the answer. Do you look at other instructors and go, I don't like how he's teaching. I don't like that. I don't like that guy because I don't like how he's teaching. Or do you look at other instructors and go, he's teaching something different, but that's for him. And I'm asking this from the aspect of, you know, that pride that comes with the sport and comes from running your academy. So I guess what I'm asking is, do you look at someone and go and have a dislike for them for how they teach, or do you look at someone and have an understanding for how they teach?
Yes, for sure.
Do you kind of
Yes, for sure. Like I change a lot, like the way that I teach. You know, like 5 years ago, I used to teach different. Like 7 years ago, I used to teach different. You know, so like I said, like jiu-jitsu is like getting so much better, different and different. So you have to learn and like follow the way to teach. You know, like maybe I'm gonna see one guy teaching. He's a amazing black belt, won like I don't know how many times world champion, but he don't know how to teach. Like it's not the way that I like to teach. You know, at the same time I can go to see someone else, and like maybe he never won a tournament, but the knowledge that he has, like the way that he teaches, you know, he share his knowledge is really good. So that's the thing. Yeah,
I see a lot of that, the same kind of thing in even my industry. Like you could be the smartest freaking person in the world, but you could never explain it to me. Or I could be, you know, I know a little bit about it, but I can explain it really well.
Well, that's how I say it to you, because whenever I'm doing like an electrical project, I always ask him because he's like the brains of the group, and he always and I'm like, dude, he's like, well, if you get a 30 amp fuse and you're plugging it into a 20 watt amp, you got a bit of that. I'm like, Matt, can you just tell me like an idiot? And he's like, take the blue and put it to the green, and I'm like, okay, thank you. Like
it works.
It works every time. I'm like, I just texted you about the connector. So I have a 3-prong connector, and the only reason I know this is because you told me about the ATX power supply, and you said that there's the yellow's 12 volts,
Correct.
the black is the ground,
Correct.
and the red is 5 volt for
Correct.
power, right? And that's like a standard.
But there's 2 grounds.
Not on this one. This is not for the ATX. This was for my.
Okay.
So I wanted to run. I built a 3D printer. By the way, you might be into that. I built a 3D printer, and like whatever. So I printed an upgrade fan. What? Anytime you want to. It's pretty cool. So I printed out a fan that cools down one of the motors because the motor was getting too hot. So it's self-aware. It's self-replicating. It's probably running right now making new parts. I don't even know what's going on. But
Plotting ways to kill you.
yeah, right. But so I bought a fan upgrade, and I didn't know how to do the wiring for this fan. So I bought a 3-prong splitter, Y splitter.
Okay.
Right? So I plugged it in, and I text him, and I'm like, okay, so here's what's going on. I'm like, I got a male part that has only 2 wires, red and black. And I'm like, I got a female part that has yellow, red, and black. And I'm like, do I just put the red and the black to the red and the black and don't have to worry about the yellow? And he's like, yes, that'll be fine. I'm like, okay, cool. So like, it works. Like, I was like, oh, sweet, it works. Like,
Yeah, stuff like that's pretty standardized.
yeah, well, for somebody that doesn't know.
No, yeah, but luckily.
I mean,
it's
there's a
pretty
lot of
standard.
things that could probably be standardized. I have no idea. But okay, my last question to you, Bruno, as a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, why would an individual, and I think you're gonna say, oh, do whatever, do all you can, but why should an individual choose Jiu Jitsu over any other type of martial art? I want like an honest. Don't give me like the scripted.
A nice script.
But like, what's an honest opinion? Like, why should they choose it?
I love jiu-jitsu. Like I said, it's like saved my life because my father passed away when I was 15 years old and had a really bad like a temper problem. And then when I started doing jiu-jitsu, I got calmer. More I learned jiu-jitsu, calmer I got. But one time, like a mom brought one kid to try the kid's class. The kid tried. Yeah, you like it? He like the kid like, yeah, I love it. So and I asked, do you want to sign him up? I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna talk with my husband, with his dad, and check what he think about. I say okay. And then she asked me, why should I put him in like in jiu-jitsu, not in taekwondo or karate? I said, look, any martial arts are good to a kid. You're gonna be working discipline, coordination, that's self-defense, that's really good. But any martial art besides jiu-jitsu, to defend yourself, you're going to have to punch or kick the person.
Yeah, you're teaching.
Yes. Jiu-jitsu, you don't do this.
Aggressiveness and
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, you learn how to defend yourself. Someone throw a punch, go defend, go to the clinch, take down,
Get out of
and work
there.
the submission.
Right.
That's why. That's what I think. Like,
I never looked at it like that. That's brilliant.
Uh.
Interesting. You caught on pretty quick there. It's kind of like when you guys were talking about the stickers on the NASCAR. I went way more in depth with it than like the whatever.
You're 3 steps ahead, Jake.
Hey, yeah, stupid cough, man. All right. I'm good. Sorry, I'm getting over this chest cold still. Okay.
all right.
I'm sorry, people in podcast land. This is brutal.
I remember my first time.
Yeah, right? All right, we're good. Bruno, really, really, really thank you for letting us come into your academy, letting us interview you. And I know we did our previous show here, letting us do that here as well, and letting us use it, letting us interview you. I appreciate your time. Thanks for talking to us. Audible, guys, check it out. Audible.com/whiskey-babble. You get a free 30-day trial, 180,000 audio programs to download and listen to. And Matt, I got a question for you, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Matt, quick question. Are we available anywhere else on the internet?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
where?
So you can find us at facebook.com/whiskey-babble, youtube.com/whiskey-babble, Twitter @whiskey-babble, or you can go to the website, whiskey-babble.com. You can check out all the episodes.
Is there anything I can buy at the website?
There sure is.
I just feel like spending money.
There's tons of stuff you can buy on the website.
What? Like, what can I buy?
We got shirts.
Like for wearing?
Like for wearing.
Wow.
We got hats.
For my head?
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh, this is just way too much.
We have drinkware.
Drinkware? Is that what it is?
That's what it's called.
I was gonna say drinking utensils, but I don't think that's right.
I think it's called drinkware. We got flasks. We got shot glasses. We got beer mugs, cocktail shakers.
What a time to be alive. Did
Isn't
you look
it,
at it
though?
online? I'm looking, but just so everybody knows, he's off camera, but I'm looking at our previous guest from, this will actually, I could say last week.
Last week's
Right?
guest.
So this is last week's guest, Rick. And he's telling me that, did you go on the website? Yeah. There's beer steins.
There's a beer stein.
Guys, there's beer. I need to really.
It's
I need to
actually
order
pretty
one.
legit.
Yeah, that's
It's
actually
kinda
nice.
cool.
So check it out, you guys. Also check out Mamute Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. To the lay, it's Mamute MAMUTE BJJ.com. You can check out the schedule on there, guys. You can read a little bit. Hopefully, this introduction to Bruno got people, to know what's going on. But there's a short little. You can read about him. You can read about some of the other instructors that we have here. If you come in and you mention Whiskey Babble, you get a week free. Normally, you just get one class free. But Bruno's willing to offer a week if you mention the show. And, come in and try it out. You can still talk in the mic, Bruno, if you want. You can
I'm
say
good.
You're
I'm
good.
Just thanks so much.
No problem.
No, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really
appreciate
appreciate
it.
The sponsorship is huge, and it's awesome.
Yeah, so we love it. And so everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you, Bruno, for being on the show. Give me a little cheers. Boom. Cheers. Take a little sip. All right, guys. Whiskey Babble out.